Welcome to Jags AM. Today I'm Kainani Stevens, John Oehser, Brian Sexton are with me today. I'm almost there, you guys. I'm a little off. All right, we're going to start things over. Let's go over our big things. They're all about quarterbacks today. We're going to start off with our first big thing, which is our quarterback. And that revolves around Trevor Lawrence. He's in the concussion protocol, as we know, and things are a little more complicated than just trying to play through an injury, which he's done earlier this season, and Doug Peterson is taking that into account.
And CJ does a great job of preparation. He knows the situation. It's the life of a backup. Spent 8 years behind a guy that you never knew, he gets hurt, but he always bounced back and seemed to play the next week, so I get it, and it's tough, but the guys know, I think, and they prepare no differently.
Brian, it's a little bit different than trying to play with a knee injury and ankle injury. Obviously, the concussion protocol will play out as it will, but that means CJ Beathard has to be ready no matter what.
Well, there's no doubt that he will be. And I asked the question, is there an advantage to just naming him the starter this early in the week, John? Because the last time that Trevor Lawrence missed an entire week of practice was the week of the Browns game, and he had a tough day and threw a couple of interceptions. Kudos to him for playing on a bad wheel. But now you're talking about knee, ankle, and concussion and missing the whole week. And I'm just wondering if at some point it makes more sense, even though you'd like to have your starter in, to just go ahead and name the backup and then see what happens.
Well, my inclination from just sort of listening to guys in the locker room yesterday, I think this is more of a case where they're pretty sure CJ is going to go. I don't think they expect Trevor to ride in on the white horse, so to speak, because this is one of those cases. It's the only injury in the NFL, really, where you really just don't know. You can't gut your way through this because the entire system is set up for Trevor not to try to be a hero. So I think it's less of a factor of that sort of letdown. But I do think if Friday rolls around and all of a sudden he's out of the concussion protocol, I still think, even with what you're talking about, Brian, that he's the starter. He's the dynamic one, and I think they feel like he still probably gives them a better chance overall to win.
I get it. Makes sense. It's a big game. You want to win it, so it's just a consideration.
Yes, I don't know if we'll get to that point, though, because our big thing number 2 is our backup quarterback, CJ Beathard. He'll be prepped to go, and as we mentioned with concussion protocol, you never know. But Beathard says this is something he prepares for every single week.
You're just preparing the same way. You're not getting overexcited. You're just trying to do the best that you can to help us win the next game, whether it's today in practice, tomorrow in practice, or being out there on Sunday, whatever that is. I know practicing today will help us win on Sunday, even if it's not me in there playing. But to some extent, it's going to help us, get a victory on Sunday. So I take pride in that for sure.
John, how helpful is it that Beathard's been around, he understands this offense, and he knows what they want to do?
Well, it certainly helps in terms of knowledge of the offense. He has seen everything that Trevor's ever seen here. He's been his backup. He saw the bad year in 2021. He has seen this offense. I think something he also mentioned on Wednesday, he's practiced more this year than at any point since he's been here, because Trevor has had the 2 weeks where it didn't look like, where it was uncertain if he would play. So I do think he has more reps than usual with the first team, getting used to working with Calvin Ridley, just sort of those moments on task, if you will. I think all those things add up to him being more prepared. And frankly, when he played against, it was Cincinnati late, it looked okay. So I think the team does have confidence in him. It has been a league of backup quarterbacks this year, and there's something to me that makes me think players see that, and they see other backup quarterbacks have done this. So it's less of a, hey, well, we can't go in with our backup. I think it's more of a case of, why not us?
I think the Texans-Titans game last week, where Case Keenum went into the bowl game and started in place of C.J. Stroud and was able to pull out a win, was because the defense kept it close, right? It was a 16-16 ball game, and he was able to go in and get that thing done. That's what this defense is going to have to do if Beathard is the starter, Kai, to keep this game close, because you're talking about Baker Mayfield coming up here, who's coming off of a really big day.
We've seen quite a few backup quarterbacks be very successful so far this season, so why not us? Our final big thing today, is their quarterback, Baker Mayfield. He's coming off one of the best games of his career, 4 touchdowns, and Doug Peterson talked a little bit about their game plan.
He's gotten better as the season's gone on. Some of his, statistical numbers, he's getting the ball out of his hand extremely fast. It does slow down pass rush when you can do that, especially in the third and short, medium range, and he's trusting his guys, down the field, and they're making plays for him. So, and he's not turning the ball over, So all those things are in his favor, and they're helping, and he's playing good.
Brian, this defense didn't have too much trouble. They actually played Lamar Jackson pretty well last week, but this is a different situation with Baker. He's still playing quite well for Baker Mayfield so far this season, but different kind of quarterback.
First visiting quarterback to go into Lambeau Field and post a 158.3 perfect passer rating, 4 touchdowns, 381 yards. But here's the impressive part. He was still sacked 5 times and put up that kind of a day, which means that he's mentally tough too. He didn't let it get to them. The Jaguars defense is going to have to be on point, John.
Yeah, it is. At the same time, he's having a good season. He also, I don't think he's going to have 258.3 games in a row. He has been vulnerable in the past. He moves. He doesn't move as well as Lamar Jackson, and he depends on that mobility a little bit. I just can't help think that the Jaguars defense, the way they play, the way they create turnovers, I think maybe they can bring Baker down to earth a little bit. That's certainly the hope for the Jaguars this week.
It's definitely going to be the plan. Stay with us. We're going to talk to our Buccaneers insider a little bit about Sunday's matchup.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Calling all Jags fans. Is your little one ready to become a junior Jaguar? Now through January 2nd, MyGate rewards loyalty members who buy 2 20-ounce Coca-Cola participating products will be entered to win one of 10 behind-the-scenes experiences at Everbank Stadium for your child. Plus, you'll earn a 10-cent rollback at the pump, a win every time. Fuel your child's dreams, your car, and your passion for the Jags with Gate, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dream Finders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dream Finders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dream Finders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamFindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Welcome back to Jags AM, presented by Fields Auto Group Jacksonville. You can step up to luxury at fieldsauto.com. We're back here on Jags AM, December 21st, if I can get the days right today, on a Thursday, as well as we're preparing for that matchup with Tampa on Christmas Eve. We want to talk to our Buccaneers insider, Scott Smith, senior writer and editor with the team. Scott, you guys are kind of in your own division race, but in a different direction, because you guys have won 3 straight. We've lost 3 straight. So things must be feeling good in Tampa, I would imagine, for you guys right now.
Yeah, we had to pull out a little tailspin there. We lost 6 or 7 games, and we're all the way down to 4-7. But Coach Bowles told the team before our Week 13 game against Carolina that in 8 days they could be in first place. That required wins over Carolina and Atlanta. And that came to pass. And then last week's big win in Green Bay has us in a pretty good position. It didn't seem possible 3 weeks ago, but now the Buccaneers are really in the thick of it, and probably, well, we control our own destiny in terms of winning the division.
Scott, we talked a little bit about it, but what was it like to see Baker's big day in Lambeau? Because obviously for him to have a performance like that was impressive.
Well, it was very heartening for all of us, because I could tell you this, Baker Mayfield has won everybody over, from players to coaches to staff. Everybody loves the guy, his play, but what he does off the field. So to see him have such a performance, he was in control. The Packers played the Packers decided to play almost completely zone coverage, mostly cover 3 looks. And Baker and offensive coordinator Dave Canales had answers for that. And Baker was decisive and he was accurate. And when he wasn't pressured, I heard you guys talking about that earlier, he took 5 sacks, but he also threw 23 passes where he wasn't pressured and was almost flawless on those plays just because we had the answers for it.
If you can take 5 sacks and still post a perfect passer rating, you're a mentally tough guy. I mean, that just stands out. Tell me, did you see this coming from him? I mean, when you're 4-7 and have lost 6 of 7, did you still see the quarterback making progress in his first year in Tampa? Obviously, it takes time to develop those relationships and the timing with receivers. You never expect a 158.3, but did you see this coming in a sense?
Yeah, I mean, that's only the 3rd one we've ever had in our team history, so we certainly didn't see it coming. And as you mentioned, it was the first one for a visiting quarterback in Lambeau. So I don't think you could have bet any money on that happening. But he's had enough games this year where he's been sharp. You know, there's been some up and downs, and I think that's largely because we have a new offensive coordinator, and we're still developing this scheme and finding out what we do best, what works best, what doesn't, how can we fix the little issues that we've had. And we didn't have a very effective run game for most of the season. So now that that's turned around a little bit, the last month, the running game has been very good. I think that has really kind of helped it all come together. And then you see on last Sunday in Green Bay what it's capable of and what Baker can do in this system when everything is clicking.
Let me flip the field on you real quick because we had a conversation yesterday with Travis Etienne. The Jaguars running game has not been clicking. And the conversation turned to Vita Vea in the middle of that defense. We don't see a lot of Bucks games over here. Understand what Vita is, a big man with quick feet. Can you give us a sense of what he means in the middle of that defense to how Todd Bowles runs the Bucks defense?
Yeah, if you look at our more advanced stats every single year that Vita's been here, when he's on the field and when he's off the field, the difference in the yards per carry that we allow and how soon the running back gets hit after the line of scrimmage is remarkably better when he's on the field. Some of that has to do with him commonly picking up double teams. He's strong, he's hard to move, and he was very, very questionable before last week's game in Green Bay. Has a toe injury, he's still dealing with that now. Tried it out before the game, they decided he could go, and the Buccaneers held a pretty decent Packers rushing attack to 60 yards. They got a couple big plays early, and then after that they shut him down, and I think Vita had an awful lot to do with that. So it was really good news for the Bucs when he was cleared to play before the game.
Scott, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you on Christmas Eve, and hopefully things go well for both teams, I guess, but one of us will get a win, so we'll see you on Sunday.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Thanks. All right, stay with us. We're going to go over who we think might be some game changers for the matchup against the Bucs on Christmas Eve.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Hey Jags Nation, it's Andre Sisco, safety of your Jacksonville Jaguars, here to talk to you about Lou Ray Peanut Company. Lou Ray is bringing something to the market that has never been done before, microwavable boiled peanuts. Whether you like salty or a peppery Cajun kick, they've got you covered. Now, thanks to them, y'all can enjoy boiled peanuts at the bank while you watch me and the rest of the team tear it up on the field. Can't make the game? No sweat. Find a bag at a store nearest to you by heading to LouRayPeanut.com/find us. Go nuts, go Jags, and as always, Duval.
Jags AM brought to you by Sudeth, Florida's trusted and reliable moving company. Sudeth is proud to be the official moving partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can get a guaranteed quote at sudeth.com/Jags. We're back here on Jags AM getting in our final previews of the matchup against the Buccaneers. A very important game, so we're kind of looking at who we think will make a big difference in that one because they need a win in the worst way.
I'm going with Calvin Ridley. I was out on the practice field yesterday at the end of practice getting ready to do some radio interviews, and it was his birthday. And the way that the whole team reacted to him and sang him happy birthday, and the guys in the locker room were saying happy birthday, there was an energy about him anyway, but I think, and watching him walk off the field with C.J. Beathard, I think he's really dialed in. I think he's grabbed a hold of this role of having to be the guy, and especially to help the backup quarterback. So I think he'll have a big day. I don't know that it will necessarily translate into 100-plus yards or 3 touchdowns, but I think he'll make catches that make the difference. And I think he might be, in the mode of one of those show me games, right? I mean, everybody that you talk about, they're like, Calvin Ridley, we thought he'd do more based on training camp. He was so good. Where is he? I think he's got big games in him down the stretch here. Challenge to prove it, and I think he might.
Yeah, I still think he's very underappreciated by fans. I get that there's been some miscues and the production hadn't been there. I can also point to 3 or 4 games that I'm not sure they win if he's not on the field. And I think this might be one. You're right. And we're both thinking sort of the same way, Brian, looking for something offensively that they can count on. So I went with tight end Evan Ingram. He will be critical to the game plan because there's really no choice. You have to use both him and Calvin and have him integral. Not that he already hasn't been, but without Zay Jones and Christian Kirk, the passing game has to run through those two. He won't have big yards downfield. That really hasn't been his role this year. To me, guys, it feels like they have almost substituted some of their lack of running game with short passes to Evan Ingram. There have been many cases where I felt like 2nd and 9, it's been a here, Evan, get us 7 and get us back around the sticks. And he's been incredibly valuable to that. He might be the guy in the red zone this week when they really need points that they have to depend on. He started that. He has 3 red zone touchdowns in the last 3 games. So he started moving in that direction. They need somebody to step up. So it's either my guy, Evan, or Brian's guy, Calvin Ridley.
And you know that the Bucks defense is going to be looking at both of those guys. So indeed, it may be another player. I mean, it could be Parker Washington, it could be Elijah Cooks, whoever they put on the field. Those 2 guys are going to have to make some plays, but someone else is going to have to step up too. Do you have that person? Is that yours? I'm
going defense because I think they are going to need a big effort from the defense and some help from the defensive side of the football if they want to win this game. And I'm going with Josh Allen because he's a game wrecker in every game. So I think he's going to actually get the sack record this week. That's something that's been kind of over his head the last couple of weeks. And I know he says he doesn't focus on it, but then it won't be over his head for the rest of the season going forward once he gets to that point. And I think he might be able to will this team to a win with his presence. When he's on, he can just really wreck a quarterback's day. And as you mentioned, Baker Mayfield sacked 5 times in their last matchup. So Josh can certainly get to the quarterback. I'm hoping that either a strip sack, some sort of turnover, forced turnover will help get some short field and make things a little bit easier on this offense. All right, stay with us. After the break, we're going to go over our predictions for this Christmas Eve matchup and what else is going on the rest of the week.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dream Finders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dream Finders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dream Finders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamFindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Sudeth is on the 20, the 10. Yes, another successful move to a new home. I tell you, folks, I've never seen a team more prepared than the Sudduth crew. With a dominating lead in training, trust, and efficiency, it's no wonder why Sudduth is the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. For the past 100 years, Sudduth has provided local, long-distance, and international moving services in Jags. While the Jags are moving the chains on game day, Sudduth is helping you on moving day. Visit sudduth.com/Jags for a guaranteed quote.
Jags fans, if you want customized Jaguars furniture for your home, you can check out zipchair.com to browse all customizable options. Zipchair is furniture made for fans. We also want to recognize our Florida Lottery High School Scholar Athlete of the Month, Kyle Brown. He's a proven academic excellence, dedication to the community, and demonstrated leadership. The Bright Futures Scholarship Program is primarily funded by the Florida Lottery, assisting students in pursuing post-secondary education and career goals. Kyle is a AP and dual enrollment scholar. He's hoping to wrestle in college as well. So congrats to him.
Hey, we gotta go. We gotta go. Yeah! Yeah! First third down in the game for Baltimore. Third down and 10, maybe about 9.5. He drops the throw. Looking. He's gonna get hit. Oh! 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 That's an excellent play by Josh. I mean, that's an excellent rush. Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on, man!
That was Josh Allen mic'd up against the Ravens. He can get anybody going, I swear. He's just like, you're ready. John's ready to run through a brick wall right now.
He was great in the locker room yesterday, too. You know, he was great on the podium Monday when he was asked about how you work your way through tough stretches and leadership. And he's my pregame interview in the first hour of radio on Sunday afternoon, and he was just terrific. I just almost handed the mic and said, just talk about whatever you want.
Yes, you can definitely just hand him a mic and he'll talk, for sure.
And he's been reliable this year. I mean, you saw the other night, didn't have a sack, and we're so sack-centric. Think, where was he? He impacts games even when he doesn't have sacks this year.
And drives sacks Trayvon's way. He got a sack in that game against the Ravens.
Yeah, and those two, I mean, I was talking with Bill Shuey yesterday, and those two are coming, right? I mean, Trayvon is starting to get it. It's clicking for him. And you've got 19.5 sacks between the two of them with 3 games to play. They're a formidable combination, and you think that's a base to build this defense on.
All right, I don't think any of us know for sure, but let's go over our picks for Sunday. What do we think is going to go down?
Well, I mean, you got a team that's lost 3 going to a team that's won 3. You got a team that's probably going to be playing with a backup quarterback, and you got a quarterback coming off his best game of his career, right? I don't know how you go. Yeah, Jags got this one. But if the defense plays well and creates short fields, extra possessions, C.J. Beathard is more than capable, and this defense can do that. So, it's flip the coin. Can they do that? If they do that, the Jags can win.
Last year's team was remembered for the 5-game losing streak. I mean, a 5-game winning streak at the end. If you're going to make the playoffs in this league, you should have some memorable games that you look back on in 5 years and think that was impressive, that was special. This should be one of those games. If you're going to make it, hey, remember the time they went down to Tampa with a backup quarterback and went and got one that you didn't expect. It needs to be that kind of a game where somebody steps up that you're talking about in 4 or 5 years as that was their game. I can't predict that. They have a chance to. It's only a 1-point spread, so people believe this is going to be close. I don't love it, but it has to be that kind of a game. So I'm going to pick that they're not going to get it, but it's not like I thought they had very little chance against the Ravens because of the matchup. This one's not that. It's just tough without Trevor.
It's a winnable game. We've certainly seen what backup quarterbacks can do. We've been the victim of it. This team has been the victim of a couple backup quarterbacks so far this season. So it can be done. Here's hoping they can figure that out. Either way, we'll be back here on Jags AM next week to go over what goes down. And of course, enjoy your holiday as well.